Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. In today's video, I'm kinda backtracking a couple of things that I wanted to react. And this is basically Stray Kids. Stray Kids, Yoonjin, Lava, Sungmin into the current and Han back to life. So I've been meaning to actually watch this for a while now because I know Yoonjin's Lava has been out for a while now, but life got in the way, so it is what it is. And obviously, Sungmin came out, I think by the time I'm recording this, 10 or 11 days, and then Han just came out. So, let's see what is going on, because I am really out of the loop at the moment. Just too much happening. But hopefully it'll be fun. I think I've heard a lot of people talking about Lava online, and obviously Han is getting a lot of hype because of his like emo style, which I think is lovely. But I really want to hear all of them, so we'll do that. Let me just make sure the videos are okay. Okay, we're ready. Let's go. Ooh, nice. Don't drink. Sounds so good. Oof. This was a lovely song. What the hell? So this is exactly the style of music that I usually listen to when I don't listen to K-pop. It's been a while though. I listen to a lot of K-pop. Um, I like the guitar. I like how greedy the chorus is. I also like the lyrics of the song in a way. Certain things, like for example, the use of the rose-tinted glasses in a way, like the way you look at how things used to be. Sometimes you just make it a little bit. How do I say this? Sometimes your perception of your memories is either it's not necessarily the real um um what is called, sorry, my English is not Englishing today. So basically it's more like it's not reality, it's your perception of reality. And obviously when things are in the past or you lost that thing, you might hyped it a little bit more or make it more negative. So you can go either too positive or too negative with your memories and your perception of what the things that happen. I can only remember the word in Portuguese. What is going on? But like the things that happen, the way you perceive those can change. Uh, Once you break up, in this case, it feels like a breakup. Um, because our brains are like this. They are not very good at keeping a straight fact based only. We have emotions attached, and the way we attach the emotions can sway the way we think about things. Um, so yeah, I really, really like this. I'm liking the vibe. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if I was expecting this from Hyunjin necessarily, but at the same time, it doesn't surprise me. I don't know if it makes sense. Um, because obviously he's fun and he's like very drama queen sometimes in a very good way. Um, and he's light and everything. But then if you look at the way he paints and the way they do his art, I'm not surprised for this style of music because he feels very artsy as well. He's a bit more greedy, but I absolutely love that. I do like this genre of music. I grew up listening to a lot of pop punk, pop rock, heavy metal, symphonic metal, screamo, you name it. I was kind of like more into that genre. And as I kind of grew up, obviously I still love the heavy stuff, but I kind of transition for more like indie rock style. Um, so kind of this fits perfectly in the style of music that I listen to. So I'm pretty sure this is going to make into multiple playlists if I can get it to play, because obviously we know they're never available on regular channels, which is a shame. We deserve this. Um, but I'm sure someone will put it somehow. And I need this because yeah, but when I'm home I can definitely pull it on YouTube and give it the views that it deserves. But if I'm out and about, I need to find a way of listening to this because absolutely genius. Okay. Okay, let's watch now Sungmin's Into the Current. I'm very curious to see where this one is going. Um, because I know Sungmin does a lot of OSTs. It has a lot of, sweet, very lovely songs. His voice just suits them so well. But I'm kind of curious to see where it goes with like a more personal project because it doesn't seem to be the case. I don't think this is necessarily um OST. I couldn't figure it out from reading this, but I don't think it is. So I'm really, really curious to see what he puts out. So let's watch. It's so cute.
작은 어항 속에 숨쉬지 않는 꽃들이 예쁘게 피었지만 향기 나지 않는
And what do you want to do? Um, it's just giving this vibe of wanting to break free, like it wants to go beyond the walls of the aquarium. It's almost like a longing to break free, which is kind of interesting. Because don't get me wrong, you know, Stray Kids has reached amazing, amazing milestones, but they also, you know, um, as much as they are open with us, there's a certain level of idol persona because, it is a safety measure, is a way of protecting parts of themselves. And I think, is good. It's good to have parts that are themselves. Um, because obviously, you know, they are artists at the end of the day. They're not our friends. Um, but sometimes when I see Ski's content, um, Sungmin is not the only one, but is one of those where I feel like you only see what he allows you to see. Like he keeps it very close to himself. So sometimes it's, when you are so tight on your persona, um, it can be taxing. And I'm just taking this as the way I see it. That doesn't mean it's the way it happens. Because again, I'm not in their heads. I can't, you know for sure every single thing they feel. Or it's just my perception, the way I see things. Um, I feel like, if you have to have two personas and two lives in a way, two internal lives, it's taxing, and I'm sure sometimes it's difficult to, coordinate everything. Um, and obviously they also have other dreams and other things they probably would like to do in their personal lives, but because they are public figures, especially in the context of K-pop, I just feel that it just feels that there's so much like all eyes on them type of thing that it might be difficult. There's also, um, unfortunately, we know that popularity and like different levels of different members, as much as we don't like it to happen, we know it happens. They're also aware of that, and it's kind of taxing because if you're not the popular member, which I think that's ridiculous, because a group cannot exist without every single member that is part of the group. But, you know, I wonder sometimes because I'm sure they are aware of a lot of things. I'm sure they're aware of cells, for example. I don't know how much they know about cells and everything, but it's not very difficult to find out. For example, if you go to Poker Market and you open, like for photo cards, this is a very simple example. You can see the difference in prices. I'm not very familiar with Stray Kids because I don't collect beyond the ones I get in the album. Sometimes I get like one or two POBs if I really like them, but I tend not to do a lot of that collecting photo cards. I collect other things. Um, I have a couple of schizos. Although I am currently looking to downsize, not because I don't love them anymore, but realistically, I don't need them, and I know I can find someone that will actually appreciate them. So I am debating downsizing slightly my collection. Even albums, I used to collect all the versions, and now I decided that I don't need to. Um, I just want to keep the one that I love the most, like each version or each comeback, find the version that I like the most. But um, if you go to what I was going to say is like if you go to Poker Market, you realize how much different the prices are. and that tells you how popular a member is or not. And it's upsetting. It's upsetting for Stray Kids. It's upsetting for a lot of other groups. I don't think, it's just strange and weird. And I'm sure if they Google those type of things, they'll know. They don't need the company to tell them that. So it's just annoying. Really, really annoying. It's also really, really annoying other things that are happening currently, and I feel like they need to be properly addressed. Not just the deep fakes, although I read something recently that apparently they are able to now do something and like prosecute those that done deep fakes, but also, mistreatment within the company and everything like that. I feel like that needed to be addressed, but I don't know enough. I don't use X a lot, and I sometimes get a couple of things on TikTok, and that's about it. And I don't have Bubble because we are cutting a lot of extra costs currently. So you know, but yeah, it's upsetting. Everything is upsetting. Anyway, let's continue. But this song is destroying. It's soul destroying in a way. It's really pretty. The vocals are, as usual, exceptional, but the lyrics are a bit oof. Oof.
어항 속에서 쳐다본 별이 어느 날 내게 말을 걸어 하이야 넌 아직 어리고 저 바다는 여전히 흘러 너의 세상은 거기 있지 않나 네가 올려다본 둥근 하늘만 있는 게 아냐 그곳을 나와서 본 하늘은 또 다를걸 조금씩 금이가 점점 물이 빠지고 그 사이를 힘껏 부딪혀 깨질 듯한
It's okay.
부서진 유리 조각이 조금 바뀌어도 괜찮아 이젠 곳이니까 새로운 먼 곳에 저 파도가 넘실대는 바다에 몸을 맡겨 흘러갈래 이 작은 공간에 한 발을 내디뎌 반짝이는 드넓은 저 바다로 아무도 찾지 않는
It's so pretty. This is literally the definition of the grass is greener on the other side. Because suddenly we got really like green grass after the swim. Um, oh, sorry. Yeah, I guess it got me. Because I was like the star talking to him, saying like, there's a lot more to discover. It's not just that tiny little thing you see. Um, it's about breaking boxes and getting out of that box, which is kind of relatable, way too relatable. And it's beautiful, but it's also like the fact that you mentioned and talk to him as a child, which we know a lot of these idols kind of lost their, a lot of their childhood and like teenage years kind of get lost because they're trying to follow a dream. And don't get me wrong, props to them to know what they want to do and following their dreams. But at the same time, it has to be difficult to know you lost a little bit of what other people got to experiment and experience. Uh, is kind of trading things and hoping for the best and hoping the things you get back from missing out is better than what you missed out, if it makes sense. Oh, Songmin, you didn't have to destroy me this way. Sorry. Ah, crybaby. Over here. It's fine. uh okay, I'm ready for Han's back to life? No. No, I'm not. I have a feeling that I'm going to be another crybaby. Unfortunately for me, I do relate to a lot of things that Han writes. A lot of the songs that are written, like lyric-wise, are written by Han, tend to come to haunt me. So I'm kind of scared. But we'll do this, I guess. We here might as well continue. Back to life. Oh dear. Completely different style again. Nice.
I still don't know why.
What's going on with the lyrics? Sorry. What the? Oh, probably because it's in English. Okay. I just love guitar and Han with a guitar.
I still don't know why I should live a lie. Am I wrong or right? You'll know it in time. Rise till we end despite. We're living no room for regret. Cut the fake, just stick to the I keep my head up high. Through all this pain, I'm letting it out. I'm aiming high to feel alive. Nothing's gonna drag me down. Every scar is proof I tried. You'll never see me go down. And I say keep it on till I'm not, and I'll come along since the whole night. Yeah, you know I don't care how many times I fall, 'cause I'll come back to life. In the sunlight, in the moonlight, I was out of sight, you know. Seems like they really want me to be alone. Every story, different endings. Let's see it with our own eyes. Walking straight into the future. I won't look back at the past. Oh, hide this big deep inside. Who I used to be, I'll forget. Take a breath, become
Oof.
someone. I keep my head up high. Through all this pain, I'm letting My mind's lucid, dumb and foolish. Finally, I'm now breaking free. Racing to the place that makes us who we are. Yeah! Cause I come back to
Breathe. 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 So I just pulled the lyrics because I wanted to make sure I was reading everything right. Well, as a teenager that suffered from anxiety, I was diagnosed when I was 10. No one actually decided to take me anyway. I was diagnosed, but was never medicated for it or even saw a therapist for it because at the time was not a thing. Okay, we're talking early 2000s, 2010. No, 2010 was the time I started healing myself, but basically I was diagnosed around 2001 when I was 10, almost 11. So I can relate because unfortunately with anxiety and depressive episodes, it can fester and it can become worse than it is. I was a clinical case of clear social phobia. And this is why this channel is a big challenge for myself because it's just another way to prove myself that actually I can do it. Because no way me 15 years ago would have done it. I wouldn't. It's just the way it is. Even if at the time I was already feeling better and I was already working on myself. So this is way too relatable in ways it's difficult to explain. But I think the parts that visually I liked the best, obviously these scenes of multiple lives, multiple things, like is like you're stuck sometimes, and it's very difficult to. But I think for me, this, because yes, sometimes it's external forces that are telling you you're not good enough, but your brain is your worst enemy. Sometimes, all the time, especially if you struggle with anxiety and other forms of that. It just tells you the most ludic, the most ridiculous things ever. And as much as you try to say, yeah, he's not like that, and I have proof, he will twist it some days in a way that is just impossible to run away from. So I kind of liked a lot of this representation. Darkness falling down into the hands, and then suddenly is like fighting, and there's light and there's a confrontation, which is sometimes what you have to do. Sometimes you just have to go full force through those thoughts and just do it. a lot of things you do with anxiety disorders, as someone that studies psychology, end up being a therapist for people with anxiety because um, I don't think it's a requirement to know anxiety to treat anxiety, but it can help. As a therapist, I see it as uh, a plus and not necessarily as something that's mm, making an issue out of it. Um, but I know I had to do a lot of self work on my own because there was no one else there. And life was forcing me to actually face it and do a lot of exposure therapy. That's what we call it. Although nowadays, I think there's other forms of therapy that could be helpful and might be less stressful. I would not recommend the type I did because I was a bit insane. And that's why I liked so much. I liked working in the area of anxiety so much, because I didn't want people to go through some of the things I went through. Because I think there's no need. We're there to support. We can't cure because a lot of the work has to be done. It has to be the person, but we can guide, and we can support, and we can listen, um, and we can be there on the worst timings to kind of work through small steps. You know, especially with panic attacks and everything, you can be there. You can start do small works, for example, uh, anxiety, the social anxiety. You can also work there, but everything needs time and everything needs to be done in the proper time for the person. And that's why I don't work as a therapist anymore. First of all, because I moved to another country and I'd need to do a lot more certification. I've considered doing it, but either I would go private, and I know a lot of people cannot afford to um, pay for private therapy. Uh, and working in the system, I know the system has very strict rules of how you should apply therapy and how many sessions you're supposed to give patients. And unfortunately, I don't agree with that as someone that used to work as a therapist in those situations, because people have their own time and their own ability. Sometimes you need more time with them. Sometimes you need more sessions with them. Sometimes you need to work through a lot of multiple issues at the same time. And I don't think currently the system in the country that I live currently is prepared for that, or is accounting for that, and is forgetting that people that comes in with mental health issues, specifically anxiety, usually has other comorbid, that's what we call it, which means they have multiple issues. It's not anxiety. Sometimes you have a combination of multiple things. And obviously, when it's a complex situation, when you have multiple things to work through, you can't expect people to get better in 10 sessions. That's just ridiculous. I'm sorry. I know maybe I shouldn't be talking about this in my channel, but unfortunately, it's something that really pains me. Anyway, going back to this song, I think this song is beautiful in the sense that, especially at the end, it um, kind of mentions um, like um, my mind is lucid, done being foolish. Finally, I'm now breaking free, racing to the place that makes us who we are. I don't necessarily think that he's being foolish, but I understand that lyrically it makes sense to put it that way. Um, but I don't think people should ever blame themselves for feeling certain ways or for going through this. You're not alone, unfortunately, throughout our lives. Most of us will have some sort of anxiety issue. Life is not easy. What can I say? Um, but and now going to my nerd side, when I was seeing this scene of fighting the black hens, it kind of reminded me. My nerd side is coming up. Full Metal Alchemist, you know, the one of the homunculus that was like the darkness, and you had to shine light into it for it to go away. It was giving that vibe, and I absolutely love it as an anime fan as well. The imagery is really interesting. What can I say? I'm a bit weird. um, but they're just out here destroying me. That's the conclusion. Skis Player always gets to me. The amount of times I've heard songs on Skis Player that just, destroyed me. And some of it is not on my channel because sometimes I just react to myself. I don't post it. Um, so yeah, this is beautiful. And to be fair, um, if you ever feel like this, I hope the song helps, but know that you're not alone in feeling those feelings. Know that is no silliness, is not stupid, is not ridiculous. Our brains are sometimes very particular, and that's okay. Sometimes the best way is to accept it and be kind to yourself. The more you fight it and the more you put yourself down, the more they affect you. Sometimes you just need to be kind to yourself. I'm not saying that it solves all the problems, it doesn't, but we need to learn how to be kind to ourselves, I think. That's one of the message that I'd like to put out. But yeah, I'll finish here because I think I'm babbling about a lot. And I think a lot of these things you guys didn't need to know, but here we are. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. And if you'd like me to react to more ski stuff, let me know in the comments down below. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.